only they knew why their pants have holes underneath. Have you ever experienced holes underneath your pants? I mean, all your pants keep having round holes underneath. And when you noticed it, what did you do? Nothing. Did you say nothing? Did I hear nothing? If you are the type of person that laughs off strange little things, like why do my pants keep tearing underneath, you might want to sit tight and hear this story first. Because for one certain family in Umueke, what began as ordinary underwear trouble turned into prayers, accusations, exile, and family war. If your pants always have holes underneath, here are the causes. You won't believe what this family found out. Welcome to IDEKA African Folktales, best channels for stories in English with moral lessons. Please remember to like and share our stories. It all started in a normal-looking bungalow at the end of Okonji Lane in Aba with the Okoye's family. Chief Okoye was a retired civil servant, calm and reserved. His wife, Mama Ifunanya, was a prayer warrior, the kind that will add anointing oil to pepper soup and bind evil spirits every time NEPA took light. They had 3 teenage daughters, Ada, Chiamaka, and Ifunanya. They also had 2 boys. The girls were bright, beautiful, and bursting into womanhood. One day, while sorting laundry behind the house, Mama Ifunanya noticed something that made her heart skip. All 3 girls' pants had holes. Right underneath, the same spot. At first, she thought it was maybe cheap fabric or overwatching. So she tossed the old ones away and bought brand new imported ones from Ariaria market. But weeks later, the holes came back. The same spot, same pattern, neatly torn as if chewed off. Not burnt, not scratched, just open, round open, like a round hole. Then the prayer house marathon began. Before you could say pants holes, Mama Ifunanya was on a prayer house chopping. From Mountain Zion fire and blood to living water, Thunder Temple to Jehovah Overdue Intercession House. Some pastors claim the girls were being watched by marine spirits. Some say their pants were being used for Yahoo Plus. But one man took it far. Prophet Fireman Ekwensu Chidera, with fiery red eyes that defied gravity and a voice like thunder. He looked her straight in the eyes and whispered, "There is a woman with great hair. She has a gray hair. She lives in your husband's compound. She is behind this underwear disaster. She is a witch." Mama Ifunanya gasps. "I know," she exclaimed. "Only one person fits that description. She wants to eat my daughters the way she ate all the members of our family. Mama Ifunanya's mind quickly went to Mama Udo. She was an old childless widow who lived in the back room of her husband's compound, a harmless, soft-spoken woman who sold bitter kola and udara to children. She had lived there long before the Okoyes moved in. The compound was among the houses in the estate the Ministry of Houses converted to staff quarters. So Chief Okoye, a retired senior staff, inherited the house. When they moved in, they met Mama Udo occupying the back room, and since the room was built out of the main building and having learnt of her plight, they let her be. Everyone called her Mama Udo, not because it was her real name or the name of her child. Like I said earlier, the old woman had no child of her own. She was addressed as Mama Udo because she was a woman of peace. Because of how she ensured everyone lived in peace in the neighborhood, she was given the name. She settled squabbles for lovers, the married, and families, and so on. But now suspicion wore new clothes on her head. Mama Ifunanya returned from the prophet's hut, charged like a phone plugged to the heavens. She cried. She rolled on the floor. She insisted that God revealed the truth, that it was God speaking. She lured and convinced her husband, Chief Okoye, who was hesitant, and together they accused Mama Udo of bewitching their daughter's underpants. Hey, holes in the pants? The old woman cried. You think Mama Udo, can fly in the night to scratch the nyash of small girls? So now I eat pants of small girls. She cried more. But they didn't listen. Pretender. They all called her. With only her wrapper, a mat, and tears in her eyes, she was kicked out. They even booed her as she walked away, bent and barefoot. I no blame you. We gave you a house for free. That is why you have the God to fly at night. And let me tell you, my family is bearing the mark of heaven. You can't do us any harm. Go and do your witchcraft in the bush. Mrs. Okoye charged as Mama Udo as she walked away from the compound. And while she exited the compound, Mama Udo turned once, looked at the girls and said, I am innocent, Akam the Ocha. But truth walks slowly, still it always gets home. It's just a matter of time. She said and walked away. Mrs. Okoye went to Aba Market and chartered brand new pants for her beautiful daughters. Top qualities. The torn ones, the ones with holes, were discarded and burnt. But guess what? Days later, they were holes. Another torn pants. Again, bigger and bolder this time. And so panic returned to Okoye's household. And when panic visits, suspicion isn't far behind. This time, all fingers pointed to Emeka, the girl's young, flashy uncle. The new pants tore as usual underneath where the mother V sits. At that side where the mouth of the mother VG used to hide, it tore round as if someone has measured the shape of mother VG, hit the fabric and created holes on it. So it was Emeka this one, not Mama Udo. They all exclaimed. Emeka is Chief Okoye's baby brother, the girl's uncle. He was a young fine boy who loves flashy phones and wares. Emeka loved social medias. He had so many social media accounts and handles. He loved Snapchat filters. He loved to wear gold chains and designer vests. And the neighbor whispered they saw him once picking underwear off the line. The gossip sprayed and grew versions. Maybe he is using their pants for Yahoo rituals. He is a Yahoo boy, the family cried. He's always talking to his computer and his phones. He's always cashing out in dollars. Neighbors say they saw him drying the girl's panties on the line. Next thing, a woman said he touches them wildly when parents are not at home. Boom! The Yahoo theory was born. That was the reason for the holes underneath the pants. He was accused of cutting off the sensitive parts for his rituals. Chief Okoye summoned his kinsmen. Villagers, they gathered. Fight broke out. Emeka was chased out with sticks and slippers. He moved out enraged, disowning the family. May my phone screen crack forever if I ever enter this compound again. Emeka swore. If I ever enter this house again, may my iPhone fall inside well water. He said and left in anger. When Emeka left, Mrs. Okoye invited a man popularly known as. When Emeka left, Mrs. Okoye invited a man of God known as See It All, aka Papa See Deeper, Go Deeper. The man told them the girl's destiny had been shortchanged, that their wombs were the target. But thank God they have a mother who stands in the gap for the family. Mrs. Okoye, on hearing this, fell to the floor and worshipped God with trembling lips and hands. After praying, he gave them a sand, a dry loamy sand, and told them to mix it in the water and bet with it for 7 days. With that, he said the Mother Earth will reverse everything done against the girls. When the prophet was going, he was given a fat envelope and a fat goat according to his demand. 1 month passed. Guess what? There was no pant top. No holes underneath the girl's pants anymore. But wait first and hear it all. The Okoyes didn't record pant holes underneath for 4 weeks plus because the prophet ordered them not to wear any pants for 1 month. After that time, Mrs. Okoye, as usual, went to the market and bought new pants to replace the torn ones. This time around, the torn ones were not burnt as usual. The prophet left with them. He left with them to make prayers on them in his altar. But this time around, more pants tore. The same issue repeated more and more, and the family became confused. They began blaming house rats, evil wind, dreams, spider, anything. And one day, Uchenna, Mama Ifunanya's younger brother, returned from Sweden. A medical doctor, smart and sharp-tongued. He came back for Christmas. But the moment he heard the story, he laughed. He laughed and laughed. He nearly choked on his groundnut soup.
Wait, you drove at Mama Udo and chased Emeka over torn pants? And you've not thought about how your vagina might be secretly tearing your underwear? No, seriously.
The room was silent.
Believe it or not, sometimes it is your own very veggie doing the work. Yup, let's talk about it. See, your veggie has a natural, beautiful system going on. Part of that involves maintaining a slightly acidic environment. This acidity is totally normal. It actually helps protect you from bad bacteria and infections. But here is the catch. That same gentle acidity over time can slowly wear away at the fabric of your panties, especially if they are made from delicate materials. And results? Tiny holes start popping up right in the most awkward places. But that is not all. If you're noticing holes plus other things like wide discharge, extra moisture, or yellowish stains, it might be a sign that something is a little off in your VG balance, like an infection or a pH imbalance. That means it's worth paying further attention, just to be safe. And before we blame everything on our bodies, sometimes it's just acidity or discharge. Little critters like mites, ants, or even tiny insects hiding in your drawer could also nibble on your panties, especially if there are traces of sugar, sweat, or bacteria. So keeping your clothes storage clean and dry matters too. Do you understand what I just explained?
Dr. Uchenna asked. The girls moved forward with guilty faces and shook their heads. They begged him to explain further to them. Still chuckling, Uchenna walked to the laundry basket, picked up one of the torn panties and said,
"This isn't witchcraft, it is science," he explained gently. The VG has a naturally acidic environment, a low pH balance, to protect against infections. Over time, this acidity can break down delicate fabrics, especially synthetic panties. If underwear isn't sun-dried properly, moisture invites bacteria and fungi that weaken the fabric.
and let's not forget tiny insects and mites nibbling at poorly kept clothes. He even wiped out his iPad and showed them slides, pictures of fungi dermatitis, fabric breakdown, wet laundry spores. And the room fell into stunned silence. Ada, Chiamaka, and Ifunanya stayed at their toes in embarrassment. Mama Ifunanya sat heavily on the floor, wrapper slipping from her shoulder, whispering, "So it wasn't witchcraft. It wasn't Yahoo boys, not panties demons." "No, ma," Uchenna said, smiling kindly. "It was bacteria, moisture, acidity, and a little ignorance. And do you know the good news? If it is just normal vaginal acidity causing the holes, it is nothing to panic about. But if you're seeing changes in your discharge like wild colors, smells, or irritation, it is a good idea to check with a doctor." Everyone's mouth was wide open. Mama Ifunanya sat on the floor. She clutched her wrapper and whispered, "So it wasn't Mama Udo." Uchenna said again, "No, It was moisture and poor drying hygiene. Maybe fungal infections too. Did they ever complain of itching? The girls nodded, embarrassed. Exactly, he said. You needed a doctor, not a prophet. The Okoyes realized their grave mistakes. With heavy hearts, they searched for Mama Udo and found her living miserably with her distant cousin. They knelt, they cried, they apologized. They brought gifts, tubers of yams, bottles of palm oil, a wrapper, and even a live goat. Mama Udo, as wise as ever, peaceful, forgave them, but she never moved back into the compound. Some wounds run deeper than skin. And they looked for Emeka too. They searched for him and begged him. They went with gifts, apology letters, the girls kneeling, begging him to come back home. He forgave them for the sake of the innocent girls, he said. Under Uchenna's advice, the girls started using 100% cotton underwear. They stopped sharing wet towels. They began sun-drying their underwear properly. Mama Ifunanya even started using anti-fungal detergents. And no more holes, no more suspicion, no more prophecies. The moral of this story: if you see holes underneath your pants, it means your VG is just doing her job. Sometimes she's even a little too powerful for your underwear to handle. It is not witchcraft or demons. Do check with Dr. Uchenna's advice and please leave the innocent neighbors alone. Bye. If you enjoy our story, please why not share and comment. Thank you.